Hello everyone, this is JPL back for another thought topic. Now, this is a thought topic that I was supposed to do months ago. This thought topic is what I think Season 9 of My Little Pony should have in terms of episodes. These are the episodes that I want to see from My Little Pony before it ends. Now, very likely, we're not going to see this at all, which is actually a shame, because these are really good ideas I have here. So I wrote this out months ago, so I don't exactly remember everything that I wrote down here. Some things I don't get, some things I do, but yeah, let's just hope that things get good. So first thing, I want to start out with callbacks. Like more episodes that, call back to past things that went on. So an example of this would be like Amending Fences. This whole episode was just a callback to the very first episode with Moon Dancer and that whole thing. More episodes like that would actually be really cool, really fun. And especially continuity in general. If you have episodes that continue something from a previous episode and help build up on that, it's actually quite fun, pretty good. Maybe you have another Amending Fences, which is my all-time favorite episode. Another thing that they should do is do something with the Babycakes. We've not had anything with them since they were born. We've seen them every once in a while around. We see them being babysat by Pinkie Pie, but besides that, we have nothing with them. They've not grown throughout this entire show. Wouldn't it be nice if we could see them grow up? We see like the more grown-up version, like adolescent, not toddler, but maybe a little bit of toddler. Little kids, get them start speaking more, get them doing more things, make them look different, change their character models, make them look older, make them nice. Do something like that. It's growth through all this universe. Next is one that has a bit of controversy, and that's Equestria Girls. I want there to be an official episode, not an Equestria Girls spin-off or movie type thing, crossover. Because the movies, they're like their own separate things. They can be taken as canon or not. I would like to see an in the show reference or crossover with Equestria Girls. All you have to do is say the name Sunset Shimmer, and that's it. You say that name in the show, and that's all we need. That's all the confirmation that we would like, that these characters exist in their own universe. It'd be nice Easter egg to have, and something I think we should always do. Something that I think that they should really do something with is Flirty Hearts. Now, granted, Flirty Hearts is like the Jar Jar Binks of this universe. We don't want them here. We don't really want to see them. However, I feel like the less you have of them when they finally show up, it's not very good. I think there should be more consistency with this character. Actually see Flirty Heart grow up like the Babycakes. Give them another model. Make them start talking more. Make him do things. Make her do stuff. Like, instead of just having an episode where she becomes the problem, or she causes a problem, or that has to be solved, have her do something where she grows and learns something. I don't know. Another thing I'd like to see is more stuff with background ponies. Now, we had an episode with them for the 100th episode, but that's just one episode. After that, I thought that we were going to have more episodes that might contain background ponies in the front ground. Instead, they just went back. Every once in a while, a character might pop up for a couple seconds, and then they're gone for the rest of the season. Just have more consistency that we have background characters. Have Derpy speak more. Besides specials, just in the show, have her speak more. And have all the other characters, like Doctor Who's. It'd be fun to see Doctor Who's in the show more often. Now, this is something that I've been wanting for a long time now. And I want the show to just finally address Rarity and Spike, their whole relationship. I want it to end. I want that thing to keep going, because it's pretty obvious that we're not doing anything. It's just like this callback that it seems like Spike got over it for a couple seasons because he doesn't do anything with Rarity. And then it just comes back even stronger. It's like, hi, Rarity. And it's just, it's so cringy when it happens. And it's not so cringy that it's like, oh, this is so painful. It's like, there's no point to this. It's cringy because there's no point to this. This is just put in here to remind the audience, oh yeah, he likes Rarity. let's finish that thing. Let's have an episode where Spike overcomes his lack of Rarity and moves on to something else. Wouldn't that be cool? A character growth for him, instead of him just sticking around with wanting to be with Rarity, have him grow over that. We thought that was the case near the end of season 4, ish. Not completely. We thought he was more seeing his way, but no, just came right back to it. So, I wrote down the thing princess, and I think what I was implying when I said that is more princesses-centered episodes, like more Celestia-centered episodes, more Luna-centered episodes, more Cadence-centered episodes. Do something with those 3. I mean, you had a good job with a royal problem with those 2, Luna and Celestia, but do something more. Have something with Cadence, because we don't see her in the spotlight. It's always the main 6. The main 6 don't always have to be the main characters, which they've shown with Starlight and Trixie. If you can move on to other characters, help grow this world, make it something better than what it's been doing, then you will have something good for lasting a long time. Okay, so this is one that I wrote down. I don't exactly remember what it was that I wrote this down for. I wrote down Fluttershy's brother, another episode with him, or maybe see him more on a consistent basis, because technically he is doing something. We like to see him do successful things, maybe help him. He has a hard time at work, and he needs, friends to help him out with things. Like, do more stuff with Zephyr Breeze, He's a funny character. He's a millennial. He's a jerk. But, hey, like, he's a character of the show that's been neglected for 2-3 seasons now. He needs to come back. He needs to do some more stuff. Oh, I would love to see that. So, I wrote down Scootaloo here, and what I implied here was that I would love to see an episode where Scootaloo learns how to fly, how to finally use her wings. I think the show is trying to keep her as a crippled character who will never be able to fly, but I think the fans would have a momentous occasion when that final moment where she finally learns to fly would be great. I wrote a fanfic several years back about the moment Scootaloo learns to fly. And I read over it after a few years, and I was amazed by how well the whole thing held up. The basic premise is like, Rainbow Dash wakes up, she looks out her window, sees Scootaloo trying to fly. She sneaks up on Scootaloo, hides in the bushes. Scootaloo flies a few feet, finally doing something. Rainbow Dash for Scootaloo is cheering. Rainbow Dash gets out of the bushes, hugs Scootaloo, cheers her, whispers, "That was awesome." And that was the end of the scene. It's a nice, heartwarming scene. The way I described it is a bit more intense than the way it actually happens. But it's actually quite nice. So I wrote down some things about parents. I would love to see an episode where all the parents got together. Obviously, we couldn't do Applejack's parents because the obvious. You could do maybe a flashback episode with many parents coming together, which I think that might be a bit too much of a coincidence, but hey, it'd be nice to try out. But having all the parents of the current thing going on, and then you can have a nice moment where AJ's like not there, or her parents couldn't come. Just don't say anything about what's going on because Hasbro can't. Just have the parents, have them have a reason to be there all together. Because I think all the interactions would be quite fun and really interesting to watch. So, I wrote down Daring Do. Well, we have episodes with Daring Do, but I guess I was thinking I want more, how should I call this? A return to form Daring Do. When she first appeared, another story of hers, going through an adventure that she goes on. Instead of just having one where Daring Do solves a problem, we can just follow a story of hers based upon her perspective, or Rainbow Dash reading a book, like That Fun Time. And just go through adventures. It's a small, sweet episodes, but I think we'd all like it. So one thing that I think that I really like to see the most is something called the Multiverse. I would love to have an episode, a crazy episode, where we go through a multiverse of things. We've seen something like this with a time travel episode, but imagine a universe where we can see like just a quick Easter egg of some Fallout Equestria, maybe see one or two of them characters on screen. Please, I would love to see that. Just make mention to some fan works here, like Scooter Tricks, they do some stuff. And wouldn't that be cool? You can like go back to previous generations and have a thing with them. It'd be so cool. We can go do the whole Equestria Girls things. They're a different universe. The thing is, like, we have a whole universe that we can try and do things here. And there's so much potential for good stuff here. I wrote down the Wonderbolts. I want to see the Wonderbolts do something good. Like, for a while now, we haven't really seen them do anything productive, do anything to succeed. So, have an episode just about them, not about Rainbow Dash as a Wonderbolt. Actually, I think that's also what I implied. Have an episode where Rainbow Dash does another show, does more Wonderbolt stuff. Because after we just seen her become a Wonderbolt, nothing else happened. You know, we just see her go to practice, we see her at practice. We don't actually see a whole performance or a whole routine going on except for the washouts, which is a thing. But specifically Wonderbolt centered with different characters and see them succeed. I want to see an episode with the Pillars. Another one with the Pillars. Like, have them go around with their life, reminiscing on their past life. Because we didn't get enough of that. We had an episode with Rockhoof, him coming to terms that his past is no more and he doesn't belong. Wouldn't that be nice to have with the other characters as well? We see that they're succeeding, but we should also see that there should be emotion that their family's all gone. There's no one left. We had a tiny bit of that with Rockhoof, handled very poorly. But we want to see something good. I want to see something really meaty about this, you know? And lastly, I want to see something that's kind of out here. Trixie's father. We have someone in the show who could be Trixie's father. Or an inspiration for Trixie. Wouldn't it be fun to see that come to thing? An episode where those two meet and get along, maybe not get along, find out maybe they're related, you know? Because, you know, I think that was like an Easter egg. They weren't being very explicit like this was the case. They're like, it's allegedly that could be the case. She may think of him as a father figure. It could be an Easter egg. They're being very subtle about this whole thing. But I want to see an episode to address that. It'd be really cool. A Trixie-centered episode. I enjoy Trixie. She's a fun character. So, this would be a lot of fun. Her possibly meeting her father, possibly not. Let's just not have a cop-out like Spike's father. Anyway, so far, with everything I have here, that's all I have written down. A bunch of good episodes that I think would make the show much better. So tell me, what kind of episode do you want to see? Do you agree with my thoughts or do you disagree? Let me know. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.